This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. October 10th is World Mental Health Day, and this year we're saying thank you, therapists. BetterHelp therapists have helped over 5 million people worldwide on their mental health journeys. That's millions of stories, millions of journeys, and behind every one is a therapist who showed up, listened, and helped someone take a step forward. Moments in therapy, like the right question, a safe space to cry, or a small win, can change lives. This World Mental Health Day, BetterHelp is honoring those connections and the therapists who make them possible, while showing how easy it is to get guidance from a licensed therapist online with BetterHelp. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. And it works with an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for a live session based on over 1.7 million client reviews. This World Mental Health Day, we're celebrating the therapists who've helped millions of people take a step forward. If you're ready to find the right therapist for you, BetterHelp can help you start that journey. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/PFF. That's betterhelp.com/PFF. NC State at number 16 Notre Dame, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. The storyline to know in this game is Notre Dame continues to walk the tightrope right now. So obviously they began their year with 2 losses to a pair of current top 5 teams in Miami and Texas A&M, losing both games by a combined 4 points. The Fighting Irish have rebounded really nicely, though, from those 2 losses with 3 straight wins over Purdue, Arkansas, and Boise State, winning each game by an average of 30 points. But one more loss for Notre Dame likely eliminates the Fighting Irish from college football playoff contention, and they host a 4-2 NC State team this week. That was the only team to take down number 19 Virginia this year.
Yeah, no, I think what you have for Notre Dame is this is one of the more competitive games left on the schedule. This game, the USC game, which I believe is next week. They're playing USC next week?
Next week or the week after. It's the next game.
The USC. Yeah. These are the 2 weeks, I think, if Notre Dame gets through these 2, then you really start to talk about the possibilities with their schedule and just the rest of the games that you feel like all they need to do is take care of business, right? I mean, you look at right now, I know the Navy game is mixed in there, but I think this is the stretch now that North Carolina State, USC, those are the next 2 weeks. And then their last 5, Boston College, Navy, Pitt, Syracuse, Stanford. You really feel like, I know Navy's tough, it's always a weird matchup, but they always beat Navy. So it's one of those things where, yes, Navy can be a challenge, but Notre Dame, you still have to feel good about that. If Notre Dame gets through these next 2 games, we really start talking about this 10-2, 10 wins in a row thing as a possibility. Yep. I think now this is a very good offense NC State has, right? We know that they've lost a couple of games recently to Duke and Virginia Tech, which isn't great for their momentum in the ACC. But I do think for Notre Dame, we have seen for 3 weeks now the level of urgency needed, knowing that they have to win 10 in a row, but there's 2 tough ones coming up, and this is the first against a really good offense.
And how about last year? They lost in week 2 to Northern Illinois, and we said, hey, they have to win 10 in a row to make the playoff. And they did just that. And now they're trying to do the same exact thing, where they win 10 in a row to make the playoff, and they look pretty good right now. With Dalton, you have the NC State offense in this game. Both offenses feature superstars at running back. We knew Jeremiah Love was a star going into the year. But this guy for NC State, Hollywood Smothers, has really come out of nowhere.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think, for as much as C.J. Bailey is a good young quarterback, he's got a good tight end in Justin Jolie back there that we really like. Terrell Anderson's been a great deep threat at receiver for him. But I think this offense runs best when it does run through Hollywood Smothers at running back. And look, this game may be played in South Bend, but they're bringing Hollywood to South Bend. So what do you have here in this guy? He's got excellent vision and patience. Those are the 2 things that stick out to me. He breaks tackles. He's got where's my number here? An 83.3 rushing rate, almost 700 rushing yards on the season, 32 missed tackles forced, among the league leaders in the nation, right up there with Ahmad Hardy from Missouri. And I think his ability to stay patient and create explosive runs, especially off of the edges, that sets up the rest of this offense. It sets up the play action game for C.J. Bailey to really work through to work through the middle of the field, especially and getting those linebackers to step up. The one thing for Notre Dame I've noticed lately, though, is they've stepped up in run defense as well, especially their defensive line, Gabriel Rubio and those guys up front. They've done a nice job of creating space for their linebackers, eating double teams and penetrating through gaps. So I think that is an interesting battle. Can Smothers stay patient enough to find creases in this defensive line, or is Notre Dame going to plug all the gaps like they've been doing the last 3 weeks? They've gotten a lot better in run defense. We've talked about them, Leonard more in their coverage a whole lot, but their run defense has gotten better too. So I think for Notre Dame, the idea is going to be to not let NC State be two-dimensional. If Smothers gets in a rhythm and he starts ripping off explosive runs and breaking open field tackles, then that's when NC State starts scoring a lot of points.
Yeah, Hollywood Smothers right now has the second most rushing yards in the country, only behind Ahmad Hardy, and the second most yards after contact in the country, again, only behind Ahmad Hardy right now. So he has been a star, a breakout star for NC State this year. I'm also looking at the run game for Notre Dame in this game. Can NC State bring down Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price? So listen, Notre Dame, we know, largely ignored their run game in the season opening loss to Miami. And offensive coordinator Mike Denbrock heard all the cries from us and also the fans to run the damn ball a lot more. Since week 2, the Fighting Irish have run the ball on 55.8% of their plays, the third highest rate in the Power 4. Their star running back, Jeremiah Love, has 411 rushing yards since week 2, top 20 in the country. 22 broken tackles are 10th in the country, 285 yards after contact are 13th. And his backup, Jadarian Price, has been outstanding too. He is second among Power 4 backs with an 88.7 rushing grade since week 2. Both of them putting up those numbers, even though Notre Dame is only 81st in run blocking grade this year. NC State's defense has done a really good job with their run fits and winning up front. Right now, they're 29th in the country with only 1.1 rushing yards before contact per attempt. But Dalton, the Wolfpack, have had major issues bringing down ball carriers this year. They average 3.7 yards after contact allowed per carry. That's the highest in the Power 4, the most in the Power 4. 16% missed tackle rate on runs is 89th in college football too. So again, they do a great job of hitting the ball carriers, but not bringing them down. That could be a major issue against two elite tackle breakers in Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price.
Especially when those two guys, when they get out on the edge in open space, good luck, because you've got Price, he's really shifty, and you've got Love just hurdling all over people and running through them and everything. I think that is a huge problem. Look, it's hard enough to stop Notre Dame and the big offensive line and any of the run schemes that they're going to throw at you and the tight ends and everything like that. But then it's when you get these guys in open space that's a problem. And if you don't bring them down, they're going to house it, especially Love with the track level speed that he's got. I mean, you just look at, as an example, let's say for NC State against Virginia Tech. They lost to Virginia Tech a few weeks ago. 247 rush yards they gave up in that game. That's exactly what can happen. If NC State doesn't stop the run, Notre Dame, same thing. They've got balance, and they've been playing with balance lately. Let's not forget C.J. Carr and those guys on the outside. They've been great too. They can loosen you up. They can loosen you up in the front seven too. So as always, if Love and Price, if they find a crease, well, you better bring them down earlier. They're going to hit some home runs on you.
Yeah, like you just said, you can't stack the box that much against Notre Dame either because C.J. Carr has been outstanding this year, and they have really good weapons on the outside too.
Yeah.
So it's you got to tackle. You got to tackle for NC State in this game. Like I said, they've done a great job in fitting it up and hitting ball carriers, but not a good job at all of bringing down ball carriers too. And Notre Dame, like I said, is below average in run blocking grade this year, so NC State might have the advantage up front, but they do not have the advantage in terms of bringing down Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price. Ultimately, Dalton, will Notre Dame win and continue their quest to make the playoff once again, or will NC State deliver a fatal blow to their playoff hopes?
Boy, the resurgence in coverage last week for Notre Dame and I know it's Boise State, they're not exactly an explosive passing team, but that makes you feel really good. And again, I'm just gonna throw it out there. If you're NC State, if you're CJ Bailey, first step one, do not throw at number 15. Just don't do it. Just if you do, well, I'm probably going to talk about it on Sunday.
Yep.
Because if you do it more than maybe you get once or twice, maybe that's even then.
2 picks and 6 targets last week, right?
Right. Do not throw at number 15 if you want a chance in this game. But no, I still like Notre Dame's momentum offensively. They only scored 28 last week on a very good Boise defense, and that's really because Notre Dame there's a couple of drives that just didn't finish. They're red hot on offense still. I think the run game, like you mentioned, and the lack of tackling. If you can't tackle Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price, you're in for a long day. I'm actually going to take Notre Dame big again in this one. I'm going to take him 38-14. I just think this is a huge challenge. If NC State can control the ball and run it with Smothers and get in their play action game, then I think you start talking about some things. But again, this Notre Dame offense, we have yet to see anything but themselves slow them down. And last week easily could have been 45-7. And Boise State, credit to them, they made a couple of big fourth down stops. I don't know if that's going to happen this week. I've got Notre Dame.
Yeah, I got Notre Dame too. 41-20. That Notre Dame offense is proven to be difficult for any defense in the country to stop. Right now, I think Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price will carry them to victory, and when NC State loads the box to stop those two, CJ Carr will make some big-time throws when he's needed to, too. I love Hollywood Smothers. He could have a big game, too, against Notre Dame, but I just like Notre Dame's balance on offense overall. I think they'll win pretty convincingly over NC State, too. 41-20 is my final score right there.